Orleans Pelicans, Brittany Griner shirt on DeAndre Ayton. He's sitting this one out with a left ankle sprain. There's a look at Zion Williamson and Devin Booker. We'll see more of them in this highlight. Booker pulls up and hits a three. Then Devin Booker drives to the paint and finishes with the layup, and Phoenix is already up 18-11. C.J. McCollum dishing it to Najee Marshall, and yet late in the shot clock, so he has to just hurl it up there, and somehow that goes down. Deep shot from Najee goes. C.J. McCollum, step back, that's money. Then McCollum, floater from the baseline. He had 27 points in the game. Later, Zion Williamson driving to the paint, hits the tough layup, and New Orleans of a team. And speaking of wrecking balls, here he goes, the original wrecking ball. Zion stuffs that one home. Huge jam, 75-54. But here comes Devin Booker. Devin Booker in the paint. Strong move, patience, knocks the shot down. Then Booker knocking down another jump shot, plus the foul. A little runner there, and that cuts the lead down to 5. Watch it again. Nice move from Booker to get that one to go. Later in the fourth quarter, Booker driving to the rim, another layup, another foul, another made free throw. That's 3 points the old-fashioned way. How about 3 points the new-fashioned way? Devin Booker, corner three, fading, hitting. Then Booker hits the running jumper, and you can see this one ties the game up with his 57th point. Booker reaches 12,000 points in his career. He's the 6th youngest player to reach that mark. Meanwhile, Zion just explodes to the rack. He had 30. Later, Josh Okogie to Chris Paul for the three-pointer. He had 18 points in the game. Somehow, Phoenix, behind the strength of Devin Booker, Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers down in Texas, taking on Jalen Green and the Houston Rockets. And we get started with Jalen Green driving and making the tough layup high off the glass. Look at him weave to the basket. That's a tough shot. He gets it to go. He had 15 points in the game. Damian Lillard now drives and makes the Euro step layup plus the foul. He'd make the free throw. Portland up by 8 at that point. Then it's Anthony Simons pulling up to hit the three-pointer here. That makes it 33-27. Portland up by 6. Rockets get back in it, though. Kevin Porter dishing it to his teammates here to Kenyon Martin for the alley-oop. Then Tari Eason somehow gets that dunk to go down. That ties it at 38. Then off a Rockets turnover, Damian Lillard goes on the break and dishes behind the back to Keon Johnson, and he goes up and crunches that one in. Portland up by 4. Jalen Green playing defense as well in this one. Look at him tracking back and swatting that shot. Huge block from Jalen Green off of Damian Lillard. Simons now drives and gets to the third quarter. Damian Lillard using his big man, but his big man's outside knocking it down. Yusuf Nurkic, 3 in the corner. Then Lillard drives around everybody. Manages to lay this one in off the glass. That's the good news. The bad news, he comes up grabbing his right ankle. Watch it one more time. There's the play. Sort of rolls it right there. At that point, Portland was up a cool 22 points in the game. Anthony Simons now pulling up and drilling a deep 3 in the fourth quarter. That pushes the lead to 22, and you see Lillard okay because he's in to ice this thing. Hitting a 3 here. He had 25 points, 10 assists in the game, and Portland goes on to win this one comfortably. Your final score, 107-95.
The LA Clippers getting set to take on the Washington Wizards, and it's Kristaps Porzingis posting up, banking in the turnaround jumper. He had 19.7 rebounds and 4 steals on the game. Washington up by 5 later in the first. John Wall uses the ball screen, knocks down the mid-range jumper against his old squad. He had 9 points in the game. Washington still up by 4, though. Wall loses the ball. Will Barton outlets to Kyle Kuzma, who cruises to the rack for the jam. Washington up by 8. Terrence Mann swinging it to Leonard. He knocks down a 3 in the second quarter. And then it's Kawhi with a steal, and he's going the other way for the stuff. He had 15 points in the first half. Again, though, Washington up by 7 and pulling up in the lane for the short jumper. He's got every tool in the bag. And then Leonard, 3 more outside, just steps right on into it, nails the shot. Washington's lead down to 2. Kyle Kuzma picking up his dribble. His defender steps away. So what does Kuzma do? Just, why not? Pull up and knock down the 3. He had 17 points, 6 rebounds in the game. Washington ahead by those 3. Then it's Denny Avdia to the bucket. Strong jam there. Watch it one more time. 70-65 at that point. Luke Kennard, mid-range step-back jumper. He had 20 on the game, 4 of 6 from 3. The Clippers up by 2 with less than 6 to go in the fourth. And then Leonard just taking over. Knocks down the short pull-up jumper. Leonard, nifty reverse layup goes down. He had a season-high 31 points in a season-high 32 minutes. Late in the fourth, Terrence Mann going coast to coast for the layup and reverse plus the foul. Look at Terrence Mann go. Strong move here. After the made free throw, LA was up 101-93. They go on to win it 102-93. And the Miami Heat taking on the San Antonio Spurs. And early on, it was that Miami Heat squad getting going. Butler taking the pass and turns and hits the fadeaway here. Butler finished with 26 points and 5 rebounds on the game. Miami up 17-9. This game down in Mexico City, and boy, these players were putting on a show. Doug McDermott sends a pass out to Keldon Johnson for a little 23-footer there. Tyler Hero sends a nice bounce pass down to Bam Adebayo, and of course he stuffs that one home. It's 28-27 at that point. Keldon Johnson takes the Zach Collins pass, drives the lane, and that's a nice little hanging left-handed layup. He had 22 on the game. It's a 1-point game. Trey Jones sends a cross-court pass over to Devin Vassell, who drives the lane, puts up an acrobatic layup and gets it to go with the Butler. Bringing the ball up, drives the lane, and drops in a layup here. Beautiful shot, and still very tight. A 2-point advantage for San Antonio. Butler now sending a pass to Tyler Hero, who dribbles up to the arc. Boy, he's been shooting it well lately. Knocks down a 3 there, and that cuts the lead down to 1. Trey Jones now driving and sends a bounce pass over to Keldon Johnson. Look at him glide to the hoop. 70-66 at that point, San Antonio in front. Later in the fourth quarter, Duncan Robinson takes the handoff from Bam Adebayo, stops at the arc, hits a 3 plus the foul. He had a dozen points on the game. And again, a 1-point game down in Mexico City. The fans seeing a great one. Jimmy Butler takes the Victor Oladipo inbounds pass, hits a jumper there with less than 7 minutes to go. Miami opening up a bit of a lead. Tyler Hero now nails another 3-pointer. He had 21 points on the game, and in the end, it was just too much heat. They get the win by 10. And final score, 111-101. Taking on the Utah Jazz without the great Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's got some knee soreness he's dealing with. So in the first quarter, Mike Conley misses the runner, and Drew Holiday fires the outlet pass. Bobby Portis helping picking up the slack, throwing that one down, and Milwaukee's up 12-8. Later in the first, Jordan Clarkson has 3 for the Jazz. That makes it 22-20, Utah in front. Portis now on the other end, helping out once more. Corner 3, that's money up and over Walker Kessler. And it's 27-22, Milwaukee in front. Malik Beasley knocking down the pull-up 3. He had 18 points in the game. That ties it up at 42 apiece. Drew Holiday working for the Bucks, making the step-back jumper in the paint right there from the corner. Then Holiday making the pull-up 3 from the top of the key. Had 21 points and 8 assists in the game. Milwaukee up by 7. Jordan Clarkson missing a 3, but look who's there. Lowry Markkanen gets the half. Milwaukee, though, up by 9. Third quarter, Bobby Portis, 3 more. And Milwaukee up by a dozen. Brook Lopez posting up Rudy Gay, and that's a mismatch, folks. Brook's just too big down there. Goes and gets the short little hook plus the foul. He missed the free throw. Then Pat Connaughton dumps it off to Lopez. Lopez, that's an easy stuff right there. He had 18 points and 8 rebounds. Milwaukee up by a dozen and managing to close it out. Bobby Portis, long jumper, that goes down. Grayson Allen makes a long 3. And then after that, Portis drives baseline, finishes with the reverse. He had 22 points, 14 rebounds in Milwaukee without Giannis.
Of Luka Doncic as the Dallas Mavericks take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Both teams on the second half of a back-to-back. Time winding down the first half. Walker almost loses the dribble, drives and scores the reverse. He had 19 points in the strong to the basket, and boy, you can't stop that. Throwing it down 70-64 though. Dallas in front. Donovan Mitchell drives, thinks about the wraparound, still hanging, just shoots the layup instead. That's what that sort of ability can do for you. Darius Garland now hits a floater off glass. And it's 90-89 with less than 5 to go in the fourth quarter. Cleveland in front. Christian Wood knocking down a three-pointer here. Nice shot. That cuts the lead down to 1. Evan Mobley in the paint, sort of gathers himself, takes his time, goes up, knocks the shot down. Cleveland by 3. Now, less than 10 seconds to go. Dallas down by 2. Who do they go to? How about the new guy, Kemba Walker, all the way to the bucket, gets it to go. We're tied at 96. Donovan Mitchell called for the offensive foul with a push-off under a second to go. And J.R. Smith can't believe what he is seeing up there down. Gets the J-A-M for jam. And Cleveland goes up by 1, 2 minutes to go. Kemba Walker now trying to put Dallas in front. This one, tough wedgie. How about that? He had 32 points on the game, needed 34. It's a jump ball. Dallas manages to win the tip. Tim Hardaway Jr. passes up the shot and instead finds Christian Wood. Shoots the tough 3. It's no good as time expires, and Cleveland hangs on to win in a thriller. Your final score, 100-99. Top team in the Western Conference at the moment, the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant facing the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's Ja knocking down the floater early on. This puts the squad up 6-2 for Oklahoma City. Coming back at you, Jalen Williams finds Lou Dort, and Lou Dort knocks down a three-pointer here, and Oklahoma City goes up by those 3-12-9. Still first quarter action, and it's Morant working on his floater game still. This one puts Memphis up by 5, 20-15. And Lindy Waters the third. Speaking of the third, he gets 3. Lindy Waters knocking the shot down here, and it's 23-20 at that point. OKC in front. Jalen Williams, three-pointer from the top of the key goes down. Oklahoma City now up by 11, 35-24. Lou Dort, corner 3. The lead pushes out to 18, 48-30. Later in the second quarter, Ja Morant gets his second technical of the game and is ejected. There you see Steven Adams wondering what's going on out there, but yeah, no Ja Morant, and OKC at this point in control. They would lead at the half 64-43, so taken to the locker room there. Third quarter, Isaiah Joe knocks down a three-pointer. Oklahoma City up 78-55. Then Dylan Brooks trying to get Memphis back in this thing. Knocks down a mid-range jumper. He had 32 points on the game. And with plenty of time in the fourth, Oklahoma City's lead is down to 13. Jaren Jackson knocks down a 3, and the lead is down to 10. Over 5 minutes to go. But Lou Dort finds a cutting Isaiah Joe for the layup. Joe had a career-high 23 points in the game, and Oklahoma City gets